Hi everyone, this video is part of the training for the Perioperative Anticoagulant Use for Surgery Evaluation Virtual Registry, also known as the PAUSE Virtual Study. This video will be showcasing how to enter data into REDCap. This data from this study will be entered into eCRFs for each participant by the research personnel specific for each site. So let's say we've just enrolled a patient and we want to enter this into REDCap. To do this, you would go to the left-hand side of your screen over here and click on Add Edit Records. And then you will click on Add New Record. And the study ID for this new patient should be assigned automatically up here in sequential order each time you create a new record. So first, we're going to enter the enrollment and data entry form because this is the first one that we're going to fill out. So as you can see, the study ID will come up here, which is the same. From here, we will be filling out all required information on this whole form. Everything on this form should be pretty straightforward, and we anticipate that you would not have any troubles with this. Any of these questions with a red asterisk mark over here denotes a required field. So if you save and exit this form or any form without completing this field in particular, REDCap will provide you with a warning message, which I will show you when we save this record. Please be sure to save your record before editing every time so you don't lose any changes. So now we're going to go ahead and save this record. And as you can see, all of these required fields are empty, which we know. So you can either push OK or you can say ignore and leave record, like such. So once the enrollment and data entry form has been completed, this would bring us back to the participant's individual REDCap dashboard with all the other forms pertaining to the specific participant. The next form in line is a surgery or procedure visit form, which you would fill out just like the previous form that we had went through. Just like we mentioned before, you would go through and fill out all the required fields as much as you can at the moment. If there are any questions that requires answers that you're not too sure of, you can leave them and come back and answer them. As usual, as you can see, REDCap will provide you with a warning message, but you can click OK or you can say ignore and leave record. After this brings us back to the individual dashboard, we can go from form to form, such as the weekly follow-ups as required. Reminders to complete these weekly follow-ups can be scheduled in REDCap itself, which we will go through in a separate video. Moving on, as you can see here on the dashboard, there are some as-needed forms. These are forms that you would fill out as needed. For instance, if a participant has started taking an anticoagulant, you would use the anticoagulant medication form as required and fill out the information as we see here. Next, for example, if a patient has a bleeding event, you would go to this bleeding event form and fill out any necessary information. Now, you will notice a plus sign beside the event status bubble. If you need more than one of these forms, you can create new event forms by just pressing the plus button. This applies to all the as-needed forms except for the death form, as the patient will only ever have one death form. It is important to remember that these forms are not mandatory to complete and are only completed as required. Next, when a participant has completed the study, every participant requires a completion of a completion form, even if they've been discontinued or even if they have passed away or have not completed the study for any reason. And as you can see, there are certain questions depending on whether or not the patient had their surgery/procedure and complete the study and etc. For instance, if the patient did not have the surgery or procedure, like such, and if they have passed away or have not completed the study, you can indicate this over here. For instance, if the patient did not have the surgery and procedure and if they did not complete the study, it will ask you questions such as whether the patient passed away and or the patient status for those who did not complete the study. After completing this, you would enter your name here at the bottom of the page and click Save. Now for the pause virtual study, we expect all forms from enrollment to completion to be completed by 6 weeks after the date of the surgery, as this allows 4 weeks for the follow-up and then a 2-week grace period to enter any other missing information if for some reason it takes a bit longer to complete. This brings us to the end of this video on the overview of using REDCap for data entry. Following this, we will also be providing you with more training videos on some additional aspects, such as scheduling and responding to queries. Thank you for listening, and we hope this helps.